Boy and Guru in the house, back with another bang on video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about it's a North London derby. Well, finally, this video is shot before the North London derby, so excuse me because I want to watch the game, so I'm shooting it before. So the whole stats about the whole North London derby shall be coming tomorrow, and this video is definitely being posted after the North London derby. So let's hit it out. Arteta is prepared to trust his youngsters this afternoon, as he, of course, should be. His plan is just put on the pitch the players that you think are more prepared to handle that situation. This is tweeted by James Benge. So he believes Arteta is going to prepare the best lot against Tottenham. Well, moving on. Willian has rejected a lucrative 3-year deal with Inter Miami, but will wait until the European places for next season are decided before making his decision. With his preference to play in the Champions League and stay in England, Willian is yet to agree a new deal and will consider his options, which could include staying for an 8th year at the club. But that also depends upon what kind of contract do Chelsea offer him. If it's a long-term contract, I don't think so. It would be a no-brainer for him. But moving on. Martin Keown has told Arsenal to bid for Atletico Madrid's Thomas Partey, as he's the type of player the club need to improve upon. He says, I think Partey from Atletico Madrid, very strong and a tough player. He's the sort of player that Arsenal needs in that midfield. Well, I think Lucas Torreira, funnily enough, is a player that doesn't get used enough. I know he has been injured. Granit Xhaka has come in now and done better. I'm not sure that is the right answer. But Besiktas have decided that they won't renew El Neni's loan deal and player will return to Arsenal. Well, they will go for Topal instead. So it's pretty much clear that Mohamed El Neni is coming back to Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen. But moving on, talking about the Hector Bellerin news that, Sky Deutschland, Sky Germany actually posted out that Hector Bellerin has said them in an interview that Arsenal he's going to leave Arsenal. That was the news. So the whole news was a propaganda. It's false. He hasn't asked to leave. Hector Bellerin has not asked to leave, and if he did, he definitely wouldn't be going to the media and announcing it. He is a model professional. He knows the board have set a price for him somewhere around 45 million euros, but Arteta has offered his full support, knowing the player is coming back from a long-term injury and will need time to get back to his best. Well, Arsenal could wound Spurs for years to come with a victory in today's North London derby. That's because Harry Kane is growing increasingly frustrated with the club's lack of progress and ready to consider his future at the end of the season. And should Tottenham finish outside the Champions League and below Arsenal, then despite years of promise, they would be back to square one. Victory for Arsenal would open up a 4-point gap over their rivals and put them on the verge of celebrating the first St. Totteringham's Day since May 2016. Well, let's move on. Arsenal legend Ian Wright has claimed that Chelsea's defender Andreas Christensen got bullied in Blues' 3-0 defeat to Sheffield United. On the match of the day, Ian Wright said, well, the thing about it is, I think that's what's happened to him a couple of times, Christensen. He's just absolutely bowled him over. I think that he got a little bit roughed up today. You see them both, Sheffield United strikers in the middle. Reece James gets dragged in. But look at the time McBurney has in there. Frank will be very disappointed with that. That's the way it was today. They lacked the same intensity that Sheffield United had, and the Sheffield just ran away with it. Anthony Rudiger came on and wasn't quite with the pace of the game. Unfortunately, couldn't sort his feet out for the third goal. Well, in reality, I think they were all over the place. The defense was sandwiched, and probably it just looked like a very bad scrambled egg. Well, moving on. Real Madrid manager Zinedine Zidane has admitted that Arsenal target James Rodriguez may have played his last game for the club. When asked in a press conference whether he will ever play for Los Blancos again, the Frenchman simply replied, I don't know. Oh my God, that is the final nail in the coffin of James' career with Real Madrid, isn't it? But well, let's talk about Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta has opened up about Kieran Tierney. He says he had a really difficult period because of the injury, because he moved to a different city and to a different context. In Glasgow, he was at a club that was winning all the time, where he was very settled. It was a challenge for him. Shkodran Mustafi is ready for the North London derby. Yes, Shkodran Mustafi posted out ready for the fight. Hashtag SM20. So SM20 is ready to bowl over Tottenham, and I hope he keeps Harry Kane and Son Heung-min and probably Steve Bergwijn quiet for this game. Well, let's talk about Peter Drury. Did you remember, if you guys have heard this, Arsenal drew Tottenham 1-all in the the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last season. No, it was played at Wembley, I guess. 1-all draw at Wembley. Obviously, it was at Wembley. Peter Drury actually said this when Aaron Ramsey scored that goal for Arsenal. He says, one day, Aaron Ramsey will wake up on a bed in Turin, feeling lonely in a foreign land. He will be pleased that he bid farewell to his beloved Arsenal with a goal against Tottenham. Well, yes, we are missing him right now because the home game at the Emirates last season under Unai Emery was an unbelievable 4-2 victory. It was very much important that Aaron Ramsey put the pressure for that third goal. Well, moving on. Robert Pires in 2015 said, I scored 8 goals against Tottenham. I'm proud of this because I know this rivalry is very important for the Arsenal fans. I know the Spurs fans hate me. It is a good sensation. It is. We love you, Robert. We love you for that. Well, moving on. Well, Dinos Mavropanos has helped Nuremberg avoid relegation with a series of solid defensive performances since joining on loan in January. Well, you can see in the image the 22-year-old was visibly emotional at full time after his team secured their league status following a last-minute winner. Well, yes, Dinos Mavropanos was in tears, and that's really beautiful, isn't it? When you help a team, even if you're at loan in that team, and you got to feel that emotions, you got to connect with the fans, and the way you step up, put up the solid performances is good for Arsenal, but it's better for the player itself, as it would develop a good amount of character in Dinos Mavropanos, and we would want the player to develop in that direction. It's a perfect way. Well, moving on. AS Saint-Etienne are not very optimistic about Saliba's participation in the final versus Paris Saint-Germain. The guarantees requested by Arsenal are quite complex and risky, so they would not want to get into it, but still the talks are ongoing, and let's see who is definitely going to be having Saliba this month. Well, talking about it, Arsenal's talent spotters, Arsenal's UK scouting department knew all about Tierney's character thanks to the research of their Scottish specialist Alex Stafford, who long championed the player. Francis Kagigao, the head of international scouting, gave his approval watching Tierney in the UEFA Champions League. Well, the young Scots' home performance against RB Leipzig, where he quelled the dangerous Marcel Sabitzer, was pivotal to showing he could make the step up. What Arsenal's talent spotters noted, on top of Tierney's competitiveness, technical soundness and pace, was that when having to make a clearance, there was intelligence behind where he put it. So it's pretty much clear Francis Kagigao, ladies and gentlemen, saves Arsenal once again. Aubameyang on his favourite wrestler. He says, The Undertaker, come on, WWE career after football, he was asked, why not? I will try. I remember as a kid I wanted to do wrestling. The powerbomb would be my signature move. I like it a lot. Well, he was asked about, does he have the best Instagram game in the whole of Arsenal squad? He says, true. I think so, yeah. Doing something right to have 9.5 million followers, he was asked. He says, I think David Luiz is good at it. He's entertaining and I like him as well on Instagram, but I'm the best. Unbelievable. Arteta's advice for Bukayo Saka, he says, first of all, enjoy the moment. Football has some really good moments and some difficult moments. You are doing so well, enjoy it. But then understand that this changes in 24 or 48 hours. You have to live on your toes all the time, ready to react and act. French club Saturday Reims have rejected a bid for Arsenal target Axel Disasi. The Gunners have made an initial approach for the 6 feet 3 inches defender in December, but were knocked back by Reims. Southampton and Monaco have also expressed an interest in the 22-year-old, and it is believed Reims have rejected a bid of £10.8 million from an unnamed club and are looking for a fee closer to £13.5 million. Disasi is seen as a key part of Reims' defence, that they considered only 21 goals in 28 League One games this season. Paris Saint-Germain are ready to rival Real Madrid in the chase for Arsenal's Matteo Guendouzi. PSG are our latest club to show an interest in the French youngster who could command a fee up to £30 million. Guendouzi has made 34 appearances in all competitions for Arsenal this season, but has been left out of Arteta's last 5 matchday squads. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has said that improvising the Gunners' backline remains his number one priority. He says, if you want to be successful, you have to win every 3 days. You have to be very consistent. Well, minutes per goal in the Premier League. Van Persie, 139. Suarez, 138. Van Nistelrooy, 128. Aubameyang, 127. That is a huge bid. Now let's talk about, can Arsenal be linked with Odsonne Edouard? Well, Celtic are buying a new centre forward in Sean Wiseman. Yes, Celtic have launched a bid for him, the Wolfsburg striker Sean Wiseman. Now you would think, one would actually think, why would Celtic go and buy a centre forward when they had got Odsonne Edouard? It's pretty much clear that Odsonne Edouard is definitely been wanting by other clubs. So let's see. Well, here's a stat. The only two players this century to record 20 goals and 20 assists in a league season. Well, Leo Messi recently did it, and alongside Thierry Henry. Well, let's talk about Miguel Aziz. He says, I'm never satisfied with what I do. If there is more to do, then I will do it. I'm always first to arrive at the training and last to leave and do any extras I can to make myself the best possible player I can be. That has to be your mindset if you want to be the very best. I would love to be the best football player in the world. I have the attitude, work rate, so it's up to me to keep working hard, and I'd love to win lots of titles with my club and country. I never doubt myself because if you have doubts, it's hard to reach your top potential. I was born in England, so I'm technically English, but my mom is Spanish and my dad is Nigerian, so I've got all three nationalities in me. I have always believed that I have to keep my options open. To play for any country is a dream that any child has. Well, these were the news of the day. I hope you enjoyed whatever came your way. All the views and news and everything about Arsenal comes on this platform every single day, twice. So sit back, relax, and enjoy all the news that comes on this platform. I will see you in my next video. Until then, cheers, and don't forget to subscribe.